Let me say something that may challenge you a little bit. Your job is not your financial plan. Your job may be a part of the plan, but it cannot be the whole plan. Hi, guys. My name is Chiquita Robertson, and on today, I have some tips, some things I want to share with working professionals that they need to hear in 2026. Your job may be your current source of income. Your job may be how God is providing for you in this season. And we thank God for income, but one paycheck should not be the entire strategy for your future. In 2026, with AI changing the workplace, companies restructuring, prices still putting pressure on families, and so many people feeling stretched financially, working professionals cannot afford to live as if a job alone is the plan. A job is income, but a financial plan requires wisdom, stewardship, preparation, and strategy. So, on today, I want to talk to you about what working professionals need to hear if they are depending on one paycheck with no real plan beyond it. And before we go deeper, I'm also putting together a free training called The 7 Biggest Mistakes Keeping You Trapped in the 9 to 5 Paycheck Cycle. If this is a topic that speaks to you, check the description for the link. And if you do not see the link yet, comment the word free, FREE, below so I will know that you want it as soon as it's available. Now, let's talk about why your job cannot be your entire financial plan. So let's go ahead and get started. Point number one, a job is income, but it is not control. The first thing working professionals need to understand is that a job gives you income, but it cannot give you full control. You can be excellent at your job and still be affected by decisions that you did not make. Companies can restructure, departments can shift, technology can change the way that work gets done, leadership can change, budgets can change, as we all know. Entire roles can change. However, that does not mean we live in fear. But it does mean we have to stop assuming that because we are employed today, that we're automatically financially secure tomorrow. A job is a blessing. Employment is a blessing. A paycheck is provision. But depending on one paycheck with no savings, no skill building strategy, no income options, and no financial plan can leave you vulnerable. This is something I want you to remember. A job can provide income, but it cannot promise you control. So here's a practical step. Ask yourself this. If something changed with my job within the next 90 days, what would my plan be? Not because you're expecting something bad to happen, but because wisdom prepares before pressure comes. I'm going to repeat that. Wisdom prepares before pressure comes. All right, so let's move on to point number two. Your paycheck needs an assignment. I talked about this in one of my last videos. The second thing working professionals need to hear is that your paycheck needs an assignment. A lot of people are working hard, but their money has no clear direction. The paycheck comes in, bills go out, unexpected expenses show up as usual, and before the next paycheck arrives, the money is completely gone. That's not always because people are irresponsible. Sometimes it is because they have never been taught how to create order around their finances. Now ask yourself a few questions. What bills need to be paid? What debt needs attention? What savings goals need to be funded? What emergency fund needs to be started? What spending leaks need to be closed? What future goals need to be planned for? Your paycheck should not just disappear into survival. It should be assigned to priorities. Even if the amount feels small, you can still begin creating order within your finances. So I want you to remember this. Money without direction will find somewhere to go, okay? So here's a practical action step for you to take. Before your next paycheck comes in, write down where it needs to go before you spend it. Do not wait until after the money is gone to decide where it should have went, all right? So let's move on to point number three. Your skills are part of your financial plan. The third thing working professionals need to hear is that your skills are a part of your financial plan. This is especially important right now because the workplace is changing. AI is changing tasks. Employers are expecting people to adapt. Some roles are being reshaped. Some opportunities are going to people who know how to solve problems, who know how to communicate clearly, who know how to use technology wisely, and who know how to create value. So when we talk about financial planning, we can not only talk about budgeting, we also have to talk about skills. So I want you to ask yourself, What skill do I need to strengthen this year? What tool do I need to learn? What problem can I solve better now than I could 6 months ago? What makes me more valuable in the workplace? What skill could eventually become an income stream outside of my job? Your income is connected to your value in the marketplace. If your skills are not growing, your options may become limited. So here's something I want you to remember. Your skills are not just career tools. They are income protection tools. Here's a practical step. Choose one skill, just one, to strengthen over the next 30 days. It could be AI, communication, leadership, financial literacy, sales, writing, project management, or a technical skill connected to your field. This is exactly why I'm creating the free training on the 7 biggest mistakes keeping you trapped in the 9 to 5 paycheck cycle. Because a lot of people are not lazy. They are working hard, they are showing up, they are doing what they're told to do, but they are still depending on one paycheck with no real strategy beyond it. So if you know you need to think differently about your income, about your skills, and about your future, comment the word free, FREE, below, or check the description for the link. So let's move on to point number 4. You need options before you need them. Yeah, I said it that way. The fourth thing working professionals need to hear is that you need options before you need them. Do not wait until you're under pressure to start thinking about your next move. Do not wait until there's a layoff or a health issue or a family emergency or a job change or financial pressure to ask yourself, what else can I do? Wisdom prepares early. Your options may include building an emergency fund, learning a new skill, strengthening your resume, building relationships, creating a side income, starting a business, paying down debt, reducing unnecessary expenses, learning how to use AI in your work, creating a plan for your next career move. Options create breathing room. When you have no options, every problem feels bigger. Every bill feels heavier. Every job change feels scarier. But when you start creating options, you begin to move from fear to strategy. So here's something I want you to remember. Options give you room to make wiser decisions instead of desperate ones. So here's a practical action step that I want you to take. Write down one option you can begin building this month. Not 10 things, just one thing. All right, so let's move on to our final point, which is point number 5. Faith does not cancel strategy. The fifth thing working professionals need to hear is that faith does not cancel strategy. Sometimes people think planning means they are not trusting God, but throughout scripture, we see wisdom, preparation, stewardship, planning, and order. Joseph prepared during years of abundance before years of famine came. Proverbs teaches us to pay attention, seek wisdom, and consider our ways. Luke 14:28 talks about counting up the cost before building. So planning is not a lack of faith. Planning can be an expression of stewardship. You can trust God and still build a plan. You can pray and still prepare. You can believe God is your provider and still manage what He has placed in your hands. So I want you to remember this. Faith is not an excuse to ignore what wisdom is telling you to prepare for. So as an action step, I want you to begin to pray about your finances, but also sit down and write the plan. Proverbs 22:3 says, a prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. The simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. That verse is not about fear. It is about wisdom. A prudent person pays attention. A prudent person prepares. A prudent person does not ignore warning signs. So if you can see that the workplace is changing, if you can see that one paycheck is not enough of a strategy, if you can see that you need more margin, more skill, more wisdom, and more options, then this is the time for you to take action, not out of fear, but out of faith-led wisdom. So as a recap, remember that your job is not your financial plan. And remember these 5 things. A job is income, but it is not control. Your paycheck needs an assignment. Your skills are part of your financial plan. You need options before you need them, and faith does not cancel strategy. So, if this message speaks to you, I want to invite you to take the next step. I'm creating a free training called The 7 Biggest Mistakes Keeping You Trapped in the 9 to 5 Paycheck Cycle. This training is for working professionals who are ready to stop thinking about one paycheck as the entire plan and start thinking more strategically about income, skills, business freedom, and future options. Check the link in the description, and if you do not see the link yet, comment the word free, FREE, and once it's available, I'll make sure you know where to get it. Also, please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel because I will be sharing more faith-led conversations around money, career, AI, business, and preparing wisely for the future. Your job may be part of the plan, but it cannot be the whole plan. Start where you are, give your paycheck an assignment, strengthen your skills, build options, and move forward with wisdom, stewardship, and strategy. All right, guys, I hope this video has been a blessing to someone. And until next time, you all be blessed.